For more on US-China bilateral ties, let's go now to Andy Mok. He's a senior research fellow at the Center for China and Globalization. Good to see you, Andy. Now, President Xi sent a special representative to attend the inauguration rather than its ambassador to Washington as it has in the past. What should we read into this?
Well, I think this certainly signals from the Chinese side the importance that China attaches to the China-U.S. relationship. And of course, I think we all know this as the two largest economies in the world, as the two technology superpowers. This relationship is crucial for the entire world.
And how do you think it signal a direction in terms of diplomatic relations between China and the US, especially in these early days of Trump's second term? What can we expect?
Well, I think from the Chinese side, China's always demonstrated openness, reliability, and consistency in demonstrating a willingness to work with the United States. Now, let me share what I saw and heard at the inauguration ceremony and the rally. Both I was at the Capital One Arena that Nathan just mentioned. And I see reason for optimism here. So I thought that all of the speakers, not just President Trump, but Howard Lutnick, who's the incoming Commerce Secretary, Patel, some of the other speakers that will occupy very key positions, I thought were very disciplined, very on message, in that they talked about problems like the fentanyl problem, like the need to rebalance trade. But interestingly enough, no one mentioned China. And I think that this is a positive signal, and I hope shows that the U.S. is looking to take a pragmatic approach to solving specific problems versus demonizing a particular country. And of course, we've seen examples of this in the first Trump administration. So this, to me, was something I saw and heard that was, I thought, quite striking. The second thing is the emphasis put on the different priorities. So illegal immigration, I thought, was seen as a very, very important priority that was mentioned multiple times. And again, I'm blanking on the person's first name, but Mr. Patel made a very good point that he said that illegal immigrants do not respect the country enough to come in by legal measures. And of course, President Trump has spoken many times about the importance of this, designating drug cartels as terrorist organizations, creating a Department of External Revenue, not internal revenue, to focus on terrorists, but not singling out China, I think show that the priorities are largely domestic, and that perhaps bodes well, again, for the opportunity, at least, or the space for a better relationship with China going forward.
And Trump has hailed, these conversations that he had over the phone recently as a success. He wanted to review the relationship over the next few months before deciding whether or not tariffs is something he wants to move forward with. What are some of the areas that we might see immediate progress in China-U.S. relations, and how will it benefit both nations?
Well, I think tariffs certainly are a problematic issue because, of course, they have the potential, at least, to hurt Chinese companies and hurt American consumers as well. I think the most immediate area for benefit, well, first, let me just add, why are we seeing this more nuanced and moderate stance towards China? And I think the main reason is that the China of today was not the China when Trump was first in office. And I think Trump, his key cabinet officers, key members of Congress, all recognize this, that China is much more advanced. It occupies a larger share of global GDP. Its integration into the global economy and with the American economy as well is much deeper and broader, and I think requires a more pragmatic approach. So given that, I think some of the short-term advantages certainly are a willingness to engage on equal terms. And this is something that, of course, China has stressed, that all relationships among states must be based on mutual respect, respect for sovereignty. And one thing that struck me too, Sally, was that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And Trump's special envoy to the Middle East also gave a speech, and I thought it was notable that the first thing he said in finding a durable solution for the conflict in the Middle East is respect for sovereignty and mutual respect among the parties involved. And of course, this is something that I think has been a cornerstone of China's interactions with countries around the world. So I think for these reasons, I do feel more optimistic in a second Trump administration than in the first one.
All right, Andy Mok, thank you very much.